Hello, it's Anna from CS department. I've completed to record my seventh experiment in my Unix lab, and it's about the file operations using the system calls. And my first question is to copy the contents of one file to another file using C or C++ program. So the program is this. So I've got my header files for my C++ iostream, and then I have two file descriptors which has a buffer of 50, and I have two files. One is my source file and one is my target file, where I'm going to copy one content to another content. So I'm provoking the open system call where it's going to open the file, and I'm giving access of only the read only file, and then the file will be read if the file is not if the file is equal to -1, and then the source file does not exist. Normally, the file descriptors, a file starts reading only from 3, as because 0, 1 and 2 are basic references, standard input, output and your error. So only from 3 the file descriptor will start reading it, and then we're going to open it only for write only. When it's write only for -1, it is going to use a create function, where the function is going to be created, and then we are going to provoke the read and write function call. It's a system call, and your file descriptor, your buffer, and your byte offset will be provoked, and the file will be finally copied, and both your file descriptor will be closed. Let's go to the output shortly. As it's C++, so it's C++. Okay, so enter a source file. So maybe I need to copy some content from my I could give my sample text, something like that. I guess I have a text like that. Yeah. Maybe a source is going to be a c.text. If I'm going to copy to c.text, does c.text? Okay. Maybe I should give it to b.text. Yeah. The content has been copied. We can just open the file and you can check whether the content has been copied. So if I need to do that, so you can find the content has been copied. Okay, and coming to the next question, it's to concatenate two files and write into the third file. So now we have copied one to another. We have to copy both the files. That means you got to concatenate both the files and then copy that into a third file. So similarly, we have to create three FD files, and with a buffer which is going to carry 100, 100 and 200, and a character which is going to hold a function of so much of 10, 10, 10 arrays. And then as we given there the same thing, we are going to open the read only system call. The file is not going to exist, as it's not going to read -1, and then later you are going to read it. Read system call has been provoked, so the buffer and the byte offset has been given, and then the second file will be given for read only, and then we got to attach both the contents, and then we're going to create a new file which I'm going to copy. S1 and S2 is the file 1, and file 2 it's going to store into my S3, and this will be invoked using your write system call, that is your FD3 with a buffer and a byte offset of S1 and S2, and finally the content will be copied into the new file, where the file will be closed finally. So let's go to the output. Yeah, so into the first file, so I'm going to copy two contents to another file. So a dot text, b dot text. So as you could see, I have similar contents in both, and I'm going to combine this as we have some ASCII characters here and there. So I want to copy this into safe dot text. So the content has been copied. As you could see, the same content has come, but it's been combined together. Yeah, and then going to the third one, it is to append a file, some data to an existing file. So append in the sense I want to add extra data into already written file. So this is the program. Similarly, the header files has been taken, and as we want just one FD for it, and then as you can see, I'm going to enter a file name which is going to have a write only access, as I'm going to write only a file. If FD is not equal to 1, then you know the file is not going to be exist. And then we have something called least link, where it's going to see your position of your pointer, where you will have your FD and your byte offset along with the buffer coming, and we're going to enter some data, and finally the write system call will be called, and the file will be appended successfully. So so enter a file. It is going to be sample.txt again. Yeah. Enter some data. Maybe I could give append.txt. Yeah, so append successful. I guess we really have to open this and see whether the data has been appended or not. So as you could see, my file already contained this is to append a file now successful, and we have a extra thing added called successful along with that. So this is about the appending, and the final question is to access randomly a file. So in a file we'll have random words, so we can access it randomly or from the beginning. We are going to use a reference for it. So this is the program. So this is about your else leak system call. So starting we have a reference and a FD which has been initialized, and a buffer of 200 has been stored after I enter a file name which I'm going to read only access. And then I have references of 0 is for beginning, 1 is for random, and 2 is for end. 2 random means it's a byte offset. So if something stays in the first location, it will be displayed. And then if I have something in other location, see, it's going to display it in a way like when it will ask me to enter the location from the beginning. So if I'm going to give beginning numbers, I'm going to have the content. When I'm giving the last numbers, it's going to come there. Similarly, it's for the offset and for the end of the file. Um, yeah, so let's see the output of it. Yeah, so enter a file name. So maybe append. We'll go with append. So I'm going to access from the beginning. So beginning maybe 3. So my third position of the file is yes, is to append a file now. So as you could see, the contents are showing from my position 3. So it's from is to append. I guess the file was this one totally. So you can find only from the third letter, it is the location is getting accessed. So as I could run it again and show you, maybe random context, maybe random, I'm going to give 12. So as you could see, the content is append the 12th position of the letters, append the file, so you could find only that stuff coming. So this is about my seventh program using your system calls, and thank you so much for watching my video.